Listen here, I can't go another year. No, I can't be up in here complaining. Gotta let them know I'm famous in my. Listen here, I'm here for the world to hear. And I'ma make sure they know what my name is. I just wanna end up famous in
I'm so serious, probably why they be so damn curious. They furious, Easy got these ladies on some silly shit. Now what the dilly is, I'm going all out. Hey, I'm the talk of the town, why y'all just saw a mouth. Here's a story about my quest to be rich. I'm like Beyonce and Kelly on some Destiny shit. Mr. 6 Mile, look me up, I'm somewhat a dream. Got my city like an addict, guess it's somewhat a fiend. For my team, anything less is uncivilized. Surprise, I'm seeing this world through clear eyes. And haters only made me more inspired to bless. On the clock right now, what the hell is the next? Like that feeling in your chest when you're ready to leave. Like that memory you had, you just couldn't believe. And we always got a little ammunition for y'all, cause we remember when they wouldn't even listen at all.
Listen here, I can't go another year. No, I can't be up in here complaining. Gotta let them know I'm famous in my. Listen here, I'm here for the world to hear. And I'ma make sure they know my name is.
And what up, though? Yeah, I'm going to start the show off this week like that. What up, though, all my Detroiters? Welcome to another episode of the Jackson Report. And I guess this week, we kind of on some chill stuff. It wasn't too much stuff that happened this weekend or over the past week that really interested me, except for earlier today, I actually saw my cuz. I was looking at Snapchat, and I saw my cuz zooming in on the TV. So apparently, we getting the National Guard deployed out here next Tuesday, Chuck. Since we a week away from the election, the National Guard getting deployed to certain parts of Texas, I guess, in certain cities, in case it's a disturbance. So it's almost like maybe they know something we don't. Like, maybe they know it's going to be chaos or something like that, but yeah, he zoomed in on a little news article at the bottom of the screen, and it was like, National Guard getting deployed, and I think the dot was on Austin, Houston, the cities in Texas. I guess they're where they think we going to act stupid and tear this mug up, depending on who win, who lose. But truthfully, I don't think we really going to find out the results of the election until 3-4 days, maybe a week later. But anywho, this week, this show kind of a special one to me because we 4 days away from the day where everybody get to be fake. Everybody get to be something they not. They favorite superhero, they idol, they favorite musician. Fellas, don't go out here dressing up like females, thinking that's cute, because that's not going to be what's up. That can be directly taken in offense. Let's get back on our politically correct vibe this week, Chuck. I ain't going to do no profane language. None of that. We just going to chill, get the people a little something different this week. This week, I really need to talk to y'all about something that's, it means something to me, and it means something to a lot of people I know. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't start off and jump straight into it. So with me saying I'm going to be politically correct, I'm not going to say the exact word that I heard somebody say. But basically, this person said, F God. And I had to double take, and I paused for a minute because I'm like, I know. Like, okay, it's one thing. I don't knock nobody's beliefs. None of that. But here's the thing. A lot of people keep saying, oh, we come from science. It was a big bang. It was all of these different things. But my thing is this. Here's my thing. Where do we start from? If there's no reason to be a spiritual person, where do we all come from? I'm not going to buy nobody talking about that we descended from apes and orangutans and all that extra crazy stuff. No. Where did we come from? And it's just like an old analogy somebody used to say. When people say, how you believe in something you can't see? I say, you sit on the side of the bed every morning and you take a deep breath, don't you? Yeah, I do. I said, but have you ever saw wind? And they say, yeah. We see examples of wind. Trees blowing, leaves blowing down the street, dust blowing in the wind. We see examples of it. And I said, well, how do you not see examples of God? How do you not see examples that there is a higher being out there watching over us? Because I can give you multiple examples, me personally. And I guess this week, now y'all get to the other side of Mr. Jackson. I done ranted about the president. I done ranted about my city. I done even ranted about some things going on here in Austin. But when you get to the core of me and what makes me who I am a very spiritual person. Because you got to believe in something. Like I said, there's always a flip side to everything. So for them people that may think, oh, I can't believe in something I don't see. I'm going to ask you something. When you go to sleep at night, what do you think transpires in between you closing your eyes and you opening your eyes that next morning? In all them hours, unless you have a dream, what do you think transpires? All of the wiser people used to always say, sleep is the cousin of death. Because they say your body is in a slumber. You're in a temporary slumber. When you die, they say rest in peace. So what's causing you to come out that slumber once your body shuts down? And your body shuts down only to a certain point. Because your heart's still beating, you still breathing. What do you think makes that happen? If somebody can explain it to me, then you could make a case of saying there's no God. Or F God. Or that crazy stuff like that. I'll give another example. If there's no evidence that there's a higher power, who do you think moves the sun so it can go from day to night? Where do we originate from? And this is me giving impartial scenarios. Because I'm tempted to get real biased and turn into Pastor Jackson. Because if there is no God, how is it that I can be in the same city, prospering, where I've had an aunt pass away, and one of my favorite cousins, supposedly take his own life. How could I be functioning within that same city with a sound mind if it wasn't something else guiding my steps? If there's not a spirit, if there's not a higher power, we've all read stories of miraculous things happening. Who do you think caused that? I saw somebody today on Facebook that said, faith, and I'm not quoting it verbatim, but from what I got from it, it's like faith is the higher being. Having faith and believing in things unseen. Some of us call it God. Some of us call it the universe. Some people feel you put good out, you get good in return. It's all in terminology. Whereas they say that, a person that's a believer in God will say, oh, I bless others and he blesses me tenfold. Same meaning. Just stated two different ways. So when I hear people say that there's not a higher power, I say, you want to know how wrong you are? It's standing in front of you. There's always a flip side to everything. People always pretty much want to throw their beliefs off on other people. So that's not what I'm getting up here today and going to do with y'all. I'm not going to throw no beliefs off on nobody. But in the time in America that we in right now, we 7 days away from an election. 7 days, a week. And I've been around the sun sometimes. Quite a few times, Chuck. Quite a few times. And of all the elections that I've witnessed, other than the one when Gore, everybody, if you're old enough, you remember the Al Gore election. When it got announced he was president, everybody was happy, and the next morning, hold the phones. And a whole entirely different person became the president. Now is the time to start paying attention. If you don't believe in something, you better start. Because my gut feeling, we in for it. We in for it. The very next few months is going to be a different kind of time in America. It's going to be a wild kind of time in America. And I'm willing to bet, regardless of who wins, it's going to be a wild time in America. Because this is the first year ever where we seeing the government just blatantly do stuff that at any other time would cause an uprising in the people. It's like, it's so much I really want to say, but I don't want to get banned off none of the social media sites I stream on. But if you my peoples, I need y'all to understand something. Believe in something and be prepared. Because in the next 7 days, it's going to be the start of like our ship sailing through uncharted waters. I said back on the show a few episodes back, when he said that stand down and stand by, it sounded like a call to arms. Just like when the cop sent that email out. So we 7 days away from an election where regardless of who gets in office, we know neither one of them gonna do shit for us. And I tried to stay politically correct. Oh, but today has been so chaotic that I'd be remiss if I didn't. If I didn't speak the truth like I have always spoken in the previous weeks. If you're not ready, get ready. I go to the gun range quite a bit down here in Texas. In Austin, I go to Reds. I go to the range down on Slaughter for all my Austinites. It's people preparing. It's people preparing for uncertainty. So while y'all running around talking about who getting the bag and worried about this dude's worried about that female, y'all missing the bigger picture. We don't know what road lies ahead, y'all. Start being more alert. If you know all you pay attention to is Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that extra stuff, start looking through the news articles on there and see what's really going on. Because I honestly feel in my heart that a lot of y'all gonna just get caught with your pants down because you thinking about everything else. You thinking about the latest challenge, the over 40 challenge, the over 30 challenge, the 5 different poses challenge. And a lot of times when we see stuff come on that got anything to do with politics, we flipping the channel. When if not any other year, this one here, everybody should be paying attention. Everybody should be paying attention. They doing stuff never been done before in the government. 4 years ago, 8 months before the election, they told Obama's administration, oh, heck no. You're not about to appoint a Supreme Court justice. And 4 years later, for their benefit, they say, dang what the Dems talking about, dang what the public feel, we nominating her. And they just made the Supreme Court the majority conservative now. 7 days before the election. And a lot of people would take that lightly. Oh, it was just, she deserved it. She gonna get it. Trump nominated this woman. And the more and more I've read up on her, everybody keep worried about abortion. Her stance on abortions. But the bigger picture, this man been crying and complaining about mail-in ballots since after the primaries. And for the first time, other than that Al Gore election, they saying, oh, we not going to find the results out. Not like we normally do. Normally it's election night. Now they changing it to election week. And I was having a good conversation last night with somebody. And I figured I needed to remind y'all because I keep hearing a lot of people say, oh, it ain't like my vote gonna count. But you know how we make sure of that? Y'all do know we can vote for who represent us in the electoral college, right? And it was kind of a reminder to even me because I found myself caught in that little loop. When it's a presidential election, we be so in tune with who gonna be president, who gonna be vice president. We miss the state level. The state level is the level that really directly affects us. That's who represents us. That's who governs us outside of the federal government. Now just think. Kentucky, my brother Lou, if you watching this one, y'all can stop a lot of stuff. All y'all got to do is vote Mitch McConnell out. That's it. Me personally don't know how he been winning all of this time. Do anybody ever run against him or something? So how we make our votes count is by starting on our state and local level. That's how we make the votes count. And it's time for us to start thinking way more than we have been. We can affect a lot more things than we believe we can. Because on a state level, yeah, your vote really does count. You really can put that right person in there that's going to be a good representation of yourself. Or his little constituents that he's over. Because in the midst of all of the election and the presidential talk, if they deploying the National Guard here, imagine what they gonna do in the more urban communities like Detroit, Chicago. Imagine. And it's on some just in case. But I honestly don't feel like it's just in case at all. That's not how the government works. They on some, we putting everything in position. Because we knowing what's about to go down. At one point, it was almost said like Biden gonna win in a landslide. Now, over this past couple of days, it's been, oh, whoever wins this. And then they was in a rush a week before the election to appoint this Supreme Court justice. For a lifetime. And when I say there's a flip side to everything, my actual maintenance superintendent at my job, in 2016, he voted for Trump. So we had the conversation. I'm like, what made you do that? He's like, I'm from West Texas. I'm from Midland. I said, that's where George Bush was. Yeah, okay. I could see that. West Texas, I could see that. And I asked him, I said, because me always being me, I've never been scared to act something when it's on my heart. I said, what made you a Republican? Is it being from West Texas, like you just don't like people of color, or what is it? And the scenario he gave me kind of made me like, I guess I can understand that. Because how he put it is, I'm not a Republican because I don't like people of color, or I think this and that of myself, or that's not the reason why. He said, I'm a Republican because I'm a business owner. I have a full-time job, and I work hard. So in my mind, nothing should be free. Nothing should be free. And at first, I was about to take a lot of stuff to offense. Like, okay, are you saying that? Like, and he was like, just imagine. You working hard. You got your business going. And you send your kids to the best school, but you paying a nice tuition for them to go there. And then you got this other family that's on assistance, right? Maybe getting whatever monthly, and they kids go to the same school your kids go to. And I said, you know what? In a way, you paying for it all. Because where do y'all think our taxes go? With Social Security and Medicaid. So whereas my stance was a little different from his, I looked at it and I thought about it from his stance, and I'm like, I can understand. Like, I can understand that. So I took that same scenario to somebody else I was talking with last night. And he said, yeah, but what do you think the backbone of America is? Us. We built the country. And at the time in the conversation, I was like, yeah, you know what? You got a point. But now that I'm sitting here and I'm talking with y'all, I have to beg to differ now. Because who's to necessarily say that the family that's on assistance or getting aid from the government is a black, Hispanic, or Asian family? See, we put stigmatisms on everything. We hear something and we directly attach it to a certain group. So when I was speaking of him saying, yeah, a family that's getting assistance or living off the government, in his mind, he directly placed that on our ethnic group. And I said, I don't think he meant it just targeting us. So you see, it's a flip side to everything. Whereas you don't have to agree with it. But on the same note, can't you kind of understand? Just like, oh yeah, Chuck, this week we just like that whole stand down and stand by thing. There's flip sides to everything. When he says stand down, stand by, everybody directly attached it to the Proud Boys. Looked up Proud Boys. Oh, they stand for all of this and all of that. And this might shock everybody because it shocked the heck out of a person I was talking about it yesterday with. But a good friend of mine, we chime in time to time, inbox, is a Proud Boy. Never heard him call me the N-word. Never heard him down anything. One of the coolest people I know. Laid back, humble type guy. So you see, it's a flip side to everything. It's like this week, I came up here and I said, I don't really got no topics, Chuck. I ain't really got no articles I want to put up on the screen or nothing. But it's like when I sat in this chair, that's when it hit me. I'm so sick of hatred between us all, and we all live here. We all got to be in the same damn country, whether we like it or not. Because who could be that mad to just say, you know what, the hell with this, I'm out of here, and just dip off to a whole nother country? I'm not talking about planned and in due time. I'm talking about right now, immediately. None of us got it like that unless you're a millionaire. So we all got to coexist and coincide with each other. Damn if they black, they white, they Asian, they Hispanic, Indian, green, red. Judge people by the character of the person, not by the color. Especially if you say you believe in a higher power or you believe in something greater than yourself. Because imagine if he was a racist, or if he looked at color or size or age or how you dress. We'd all be doomed. So the closer and closer we get into this election, regardless of who wins, let's not make it about, oh, now we doomed because we black. We've been black our whole lives. This ain't the first election. It won't be the first election we saw botched or chaotic. But be prepared. Be prepared is all I'm saying. It's one thing to judge a person by their character. And it's another one to be just completely naive. You all know, everybody know. You can sense, oh, this motherfucker ain't for the right thing. So I'm not saying run around and, turn the other cheek. Nah. But what I'm saying is like my auntie Jackie used to say. My auntie Mama Jackie used to always say this. When you go looking for boogers, you'll always find one. And in case that's flying over your head, as black people, if we look at every white person like he's a racist, I know it, redneck racist bastard. Anything he do or say, you ready for the jump off. That's not what I'm saying. When I say be prepared, what I'm saying is if no other week of this year y'all want to focus in and pay attention, make it this week. Make it this week. If I could stream every day as reminders, like, hey, y'all, if you're on TikTok, get off TikTok. Stop tweeting. Don't update your posts. Pay attention to the TV. Pay attention to your surroundings. Because we always want to say, we this and we that, and we big up in this and we big up in that, and can't nobody tell me this. If you want to flex, you want to stunt, you want to be the man, do all of that, stay up on current events. Stay up on what's really happening and could really affect you, your community, your family. Because a lot of time we get hit from left field because we don't stay current. And all of that, the unforeseen chaos that lies ahead, the pure hatred I've been seeing just based on skin color, all that ties back into what was really on me to preach to y'all today. Believe in something. If you want to call it God, you want to call it Buddha, Allah, believe in something. Believe in something that'll make you a better person, a better you than you are today. Because it's like this past week, from the Lyft rides I was doing to a couple interactions I had, it's like the whole damn world done went crazy. Or maybe I should say the whole country going crazy. And it leads me to just understand how easy it is television programming. Other than a few things on the news, you got to be able to watch the news and read in between it and get your meaning and not get the meaning they trying to drill in you. Because at the end of the day, we all so divided. We all so hateful towards each other. For what? Yet, we will all sit back and say, I'm blessed. Oh, I'm a spiritual person. Oh, I'm this. Let me tell you how good God been. But yet, You'll see another person just because they not the same color as you and instantly turn your nose up or instantly have something slick to say. Just like as men, sometimes we can go a little too hard towards the females. It took somebody I highly respect to pull my coattail and say, yeah, you hit a lot of good points. But do you think maybe you being a little too hard towards the women sometimes? So I had to sit back and research myself. I had to look through a couple of the episodes and I'm like, I don't think I really went too hard, except for the 1 week I had my sis. I know I had my sis on fire. Like my sis, and that's somebody that I know genuinely loves me. I had her on fire. So I had to think about it. I've been seeing all of this protect black women. And I also been seeing everybody steady just like going on this girl Megan. I'll say this about that situation and I'm going to leave it alone. If a person is getting money already off their own merit, no publicity stunts, no none of that, what would make y'all think? And I'm speaking to a lot of the fellas because I see it's y'all that's always going hard on this little girl. What would make y'all think? And she gonna come out and say somebody shot her 2 times for some sympathy from y'all when y'all already buying her albums. Y'all already TikToking her challenges and everything. Do that make sense? And when it comes to that situation, I'm not saying the boy Tory did it. And I'm not saying Megan lied. Because none of us was in the car. And y'all, she was up twerking 2-3 days later. I done seen females break their ankle and be up twerking with the boot on. And plus, who's to say the kind of treatment she had? Because we don't know money like she knowing money right now. My bro, what's up, cuzzo? I see you, Nits. What's good? And it is. The thing of it is with that situation is the men dragging her. It's men dragging this little girl. And for what? When she first came out and spoke on it, everybody was like, oh, that's messed up. They wanted to drag Tory. Then he made this little song, and I guess he did it live too. I still ain't seen his live. And since then, everybody, oh, she lied. I think she lied. She was a man. She was out twerking 3 days later doing this and that. Guess what? If you making good money, you going to work through pain. If you knowing you finna get 6 figures to shake your ass, oh, you gonna shake it through a gunshot wound. So let's make that situation null and void with y'all dragging this girl talking about she lied and this and that. If she lied, why the man getting charged? He going to trial over it. Somebody explain that to me. And maybe we can stop posting and making memes and trying to talk about this girl. See, this week, I swear, I said I was just going to get up here and freestyle. I wasn't going to hit no points. I just wanted to have fun this week because next week is a big week. It's the election week, Chuck. I just want to chill out this week. But I've been seeing so much hatred over this past week. When the truth of the matter is, how could we hate each other and we in the same class? And I'm not talking about school, y'all. If y'all ain't caught on by now with all of the stuff I've been shelling out to y'all over these past few weeks, let me remind y'all, it's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about, oh, they 80. Oh, we young. It's not about Gen Z, Gen X, the millennials. None of that. It's about who's rich and all of us worker bees that's keeping them rich. That's what they scared of happening. The worker bees can't get too much, or else they might not need us no more. Why y'all think as African Americans we don't get business loans like that? So it's not about color. It's not about, oh, them rednecks over there, them niggas over there. Look at the chinks in the wet back. It's not about none of that dumb stuff. I will stand firmly on this belief that racism and all of that was just something that was indoctrinated with us to keep the divide going, the real divide. We got it. Them idiots don't because they too busy fighting amongst each other. And guess what? Since we only understand social media, why would we want to keep being at war with all these different colors and amongst ourselves when it's said, I see memes all of the time, especially with us. I ain't got time to fight beef with nobody. That's a broke man sport. So you want to be a living example of that. A broke man. Mad, bitter, arguing at everybody. They don't like me because I'm this way. They don't like me because I'm that way. Yet 2 seconds later, I don't give a what nobody think about me. It's so tricky, y'all. It's so the way everything be going and how many walking contradictions I be seeing sometimes. Like, how could we say, oh, I'm too blessed to be stressed? And as soon as Kurt Franklin, the Clark sisters get done singing, we looking out the window, look at them crackers over there. They don't like us. And say we believe in God. God is love, people. And the truth of the matter is, I see people say, oh, that was a mind thing put on us to keep us enslaved. That's a slave mentality. God this, God that. So you want to know how I'm going to relate this to y'all? You think about Revelations. And when he's speaking on the last days, he said, men will become idolaters of everything but me. You'll have mothers against daughters, fathers against sons. All these different plagues. Babylon the Great will exalt itself and say it's never seen war and then crumble. What do y'all think is happening in front of us? When you're hearing people, oh, fuck God, there's no God. You did that. God didn't. It's like now you mention God on the street. Oh, where'd this lame come from? They making the name null and void. But say LeBron James, the king. And on the same note, that same king, if you ran up on him and needed help, he gonna look at you like you damn crazy. Just like we was mad as hell at Ice Cube. Oh, he like this, that. But did anybody take the time to find out what his argument is? Here's something. I don't know if y'all know this or not. And maybe some of y'all do. Because there's a lot of people that's woke. I know my cousins know this. I know my cousin Chanel, my cousin Rob, my cousin Ray Ray. Because of how we was raised. I know they know this. So Ice Cube's argument is this. As African American people, we make up 13.5% of the population in America. Right? But for us to be 13.5% of the population, only 3% of the country's wealth is allocated to us. So imagine. If you're not in that 3%, that means you in the 10.5%. That's destined to either struggle or be barely above water. So that was his argument. And with an argument like that, I myself would have sat down with anybody who was willing to listen to me, because he's coming from a stance of being pissed off. Like, we make up 13.5% of the population, but only 3% of the money is allocated to the 13.5%. And because he arguing not just for him and all his friends and stuff that's sitting in their mansions on Hollywood, he arguing for the whole 13.5. And guess what? What's crazy is he legitimately knows he's in that 3%. So at the end of the day, to keep it real with y'all, and the reality behind it all is, He don't have to be arguing. But he arguing for the 10.5%, which is our dumb ass. And we dragged this man because he sat down with whoever would listen to him. A lot of people may look at this one this week. That'd make 3 in a row where I done had people upset, but then I guess they thought about it and was like, dang, he kind of had a point. We attack us first. And the truth of the matter is, I've been getting up here saying, vote, 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 vote. Because yes, I want to see something different. Even though the truth of the matter is, I know neither one of them are good for us. Period. Neither one of them. But we seen 4 years of what this one can do. Go ahead, get an old guy a chance. See what he can do. Maybe he'll do something different. But I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine last night. And it's crazy because I was in Texas when Trump won in 2016. And Texas was red as a blood's flag hanging out his pocket. This year, a lot of the same people that voted red last time is swinging over to the blue side because they ready to see change. Even though we all in the same boat knowing, we damned if we do, damned if we don't. Either way it go. But think about it. When Obama got his shot, it was after 8 years of Bush. Everybody was like, at this point, I guess, heck, he can't be that bad. So I had to drill stuff in y'all mind because it's like, stop sitting back and you'll shun another person because they have their beliefs. Because they may believe in something that you're not familiar with. And it's working for them. Even when I heard the person say, F God, that's how you feel. I can't sway that. But I know how I feel and what I believe in. Because it's something that when you knocked out, keeping your heart beating just enough to preserve your body so you won't be resting in peace, but you just kind of, you slumbering, you recharging. And after he done watched over you long enough and feel like, oh yeah, he well rested. There go another 24. So how could you not have some faith? Even if you choose to think or go about it a different way. What do you think manifests those things that you be thinking about so hard? And before you realize it, you done worked yourself towards that very thing you was thinking of. What do you think does that? So this week, you know my 15 seconds of shame. I always have to do it, Chuck. My 15 seconds of shame is for anybody that's still really foolish enough to be caught up on this whole color divide when it's a class divide. And the jewel I want to give y'all this week is this. You can always keep saying you 100, I'm 100, I'm 100 this, I'm 100 that. But even the $100 bill changed. So the truth of the matter is this. Believe in something. Have faith in something that's brighter than what we seeing. But on the same note, if you could say you believe in something, you have faith, and you have something bigger than you in your heart, there should be no room for hatred towards your fellow man. So I guess I do have to say this to y'all. I remember I used to have conversations with my grandma, rest her soul. And everybody knew I was grandma's boy. That's what they thought. Grandma's boy this. He can't do this without his grandma. He can't do that without his grandma. Oh, I hate for something to happen to grandma, man. And I sat and thought about it last night. I said, that boy done came a long way. But it wasn't without Grandma May, because she always be with me. And I remember we was having this conversation. And she said to me, she said, you will disappoint the hell out of yourself in life if you expect everybody to be like you. So when I mention that one of my good friends is a Proud Boy, or I mention my producers, or I mention I'm sick of the hatred thing, I know everybody not going to be like me. But the truth is, I also know that a lot of people look up to me because of the person I am. And if I can influence y'all or be an example for y'all to do anything, we 7 days away from an uncertain decision. We don't know how this shit gonna play out. But at the end of the day, when y'all leave from this show, take this with y'all and understand that whether you black, brown, whether your eyes slanted, whether you like to cross dress, whether you are the LGBTQ community, we all still lower class Americans in the president that is the president now's eyes. So let's stop with all of the hatred, the racial division, and understand this. We just the worker bees to keep the rich rich. And all of this racism and inequality is just something indoctrinated to keep us arguing amongst ourselves, playing a broke man sport, which is ultimately keeping us broke men and women. Yes, sir. Kristen. See, you caught me in the middle of the show. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitch. I'm on everything. We everywhere. I'm on Twitch, on the side of buses, on the side of buildings. Probably on some girl's side boob with the Jackson Report shirt. Guess what? I just got fired. So before I get out of here this week, back at you, bro. I'm going to get out of here this week, y'all. But I had to leave y'all with this. If you don't know how to show love and you don't have nothing nice to say about your fellow man, before you talk to people, say a quick prayer in your mind. Ask God to give you the unction. Ask God to give you the right words to say, or whomever you believe in. This been another episode, y'all, of the Jackson Report. Keep tuning in. Keep telling a friend to tell a friend. And I need y'all to strap y'all seatbelts on, get your tickets. Next Tuesday, have some popcorn, some good snacks. And be prepared to be shocked, because we streaming maybe a little bit longer for Election Day. Y'all have a good night.